Thank you for tuning in. I'm Chris O'Toole, and this is Dark Frequencies. Tonight, we travel to the humid streets of Baytown, Texas, a place where quiet apartment complexes hide unimaginable darkness. In August of 2017, we began a missing persons report that spiraled into one of the most gruesome domestic murders in recent Texas history. A woman, her boyfriend, a machete, and a trail of body parts scattered across dumpsters in Baytown. This is the story of Cierra Alexis Sutton and Stephen Coleman. The facts are brutal. The truth is colder than the steel that ended a life. Stay with me. It was the evening of August 16th, 2017, inside a modest apartment in the 1700 blocks of James Bowie, Baytown, Texas. Cierra Sutton, age 30, and her live-in boyfriend, 32-year-old Stephen Coleman, an inspiring rapper, as Slim Didon had argued. Coleman went to bed. 10-year-old daughter, Sutton's child, sat in the living room with an open concept unit. Sutton retrieved a gun. She walked into the bedroom and fired a single point blank into Coleman's head while he slept. The silence followed was short-lived. Coleman's body was heavy, too heavy to move whole. So Sutton made that decision that would define this case forever. She fetched a machete, and piece by piece, she dismembered the man that lived with her. Arms, legs, head. She wrapped the remains in a sheet and duct tape and loaded them into her Jeep and drove through the night through Baytown, dropping the body parts into dumpsters, an apartment complex. Then she cleaned, or she tried to. The blood remained in the bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom. And then 2 days later, on August 18th, Sutton walked into the Baytown Police Department and filed a missing persons report. She told officers she had seen Coleman around 10:30 p.m. on the 16th after an argument. He simply just walked out, she claimed. She couldn't reach him. His cars were still parked outside. The neighbors noticed something off. That Sutton seemed strangely calm. Investigators began to dig. They searched the apartment and found blood evidence everywhere. A torso matching Coleman's description, a surface of the Baytown field. The DNA confirmed it was him. Surveillance footage of another story. After reporting Coleman missing, Sutton used his credit card at Walmart, purchasing duct tape and a foam mattress. The woman on the camera matched Sutton perfectly. But friends came forward with chilling details. One recalled Coleman saying more than once, "If anything ever happens to me, make sure the police looks at Cierra." Another friend said Sutton had confided in people in Louisiana after fleeing there. She allegedly told them that she shot him while he slept, then hacked him apart because he was too heavy to carry. Her 10-year-old daughter had been in the next room the entire time. Sutton showed no emotion when questioned, no remorse, detectives said. And when she fled to the suburban of New Orleans, an anonymous tip led her to the arrest of Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. She waived extradition and was brought back to Texas. Well, the evidence was overwhelming. Blood in her Jeep, torso, video, the confessions of multiple witnesses, the false missing persons report, the frantic cleanup. And in February 2019, in the 180th Criminal Court, before Judge Deshaun Jones, a jury convicted her. She was sentenced to 45 years in prison. Prosecutors noted that she would serve at least 22 years and a half before becoming eligible for parole. Coleman's family never got the closure they deserve. In 2022, his mother, Cola Coleman, and brother Chris spoke publicly. They accused multiple true crime shows of painting Stephen as a horrible person, twisting facts, and excluding the family's voice while they profit from their tragedy. They begged the producers to stop. Baytown is not alone in these shadows. Texas have seen similar intimate partner horrors. In 2013, just down the road in Houston, Catherine Henderson shot her boyfriend in the head while he slept, then dismembered him with a saw and scattered the parts in the dumpsters across the Houston area. She too filed for a missing person report. She received life in prison. Another Houston case in the same year involved Ana Lila Trujillo, who bludgeoned her boyfriend with a stiletto heel and attempted to dismember and conceal the body. She claimed it was self-defense. The jury disagreed. Life sentence. These cases are a terrifying thread of domestic arguments that escalate in seconds. Bodies too heavy or too whole to hide, the desperate attempts to erase what happened. Texas calls the family violence under the family code, and it includes any act of threat intended to cause physical harm between family members, household members, or dating partners. Assault against a partner carries enhanced penalties, especially when strangulation is involved and it becomes a pattern. Continuous violence against the family under the Penal Code 25.11 turns repeated assaults into third-degree felonies and up to 10 years in prison. Murder in a domestic context remains first-degree, carrying life or decades behind bars. Protective orders exist. Victims request them quickly. Temporary orders without a notice of the abuser finding out, and then the final lasting for years. But in recent laws in the House Bill of 1432 made them easier to obtain. New 2026 domestic violence fatality is now studying the exact of these cases, focusing on stalking, strangulation, firearms, lethal factors. But in Stephen Coleman's case, no protective order had been sought. The warning signs were there. Coleman himself had faced them with a friend, and yet the violence exploded anyway. What makes the Sutton case linger is not just the brutality of a machete and a cold calculation of dumpsters. It's the normalcy that preceded. A couple of living together, a child in the next room, an argument that should have ended in slamming doors, not in bodies and pieces. Cierra Sutton sits in a Texas prison cell tonight, serving 45-year sentence. Stephen Coleman's music career never got a chance. His family still grieves and still fights against the way his story sometimes had been told without them. These stories are not entertainment. They are warnings. They are reminders that domestic violence rarely arrives without a warning label. It builds in silence until one night the silence breaks forever. If you or know someone who's in danger, reach out. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. In Texas, local shelters and legal aid through the Texas Law Help can guide you to protective orders and safety plans. I'm Chris O'Toole. Thank you for listening to Dark Frequencies. Stay safe out there, and remember, the darkest frequencies are the ones we refuse to hear until it's too late.